What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Your favorite football content creator here. And today, we've got a bit of a spicy story coming straight out of the NFL. If you're ready for a good laugh mixed with some drama, you've come to the right place. Now, we're all familiar with touchdown celebrations, right? From the gritty to the Lambeau leap. Players love to get creative when they find the end zone. But, oh boy, one Cincinnati Bengals running back just learned the hard way that sometimes those celebrations can cost you, literally. Let's talk about Chase Brown, his touchdown celebration, and why he's about to fork over $5.481 to the NFL. The touchdown and the Kettle jump. Alright, so here's how it all went down. On a Monday night, during a game at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Chase Brown caught a 19-yard touchdown pass. Sounds pretty standard, right? But what made this moment unforgettable wasn't the play itself. It was Brown's decision to jump into a Salvation Army kettle after crossing the goal line. Yep, you heard that right. He literally dove into a giant kettle like he was making a donation to the cause. But instead of coins, he was cashing in on a fine. Now, this celebration wasn't just a random idea that popped into Brown's head. He later said, "I've seen everybody do it since I was a kid. So I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna do it." And while we loved the enthusiasm, that's the exact moment that led to Brown's $5.481 fine from the NFL. The league deemed the jump into the Salvation Army kettle as unsportsmanlike conduct. Specifically for illegal celebrations, this isn't the first time a player has used the Salvation Army kettle for a touchdown celebration. But it seems like Brown might have been a little too enthusiastic for the NFL's liking. A brief history of kettle celebrations in the NFL. Now, if you're thinking, wait a second, this seems like it's been done before without a fine. You're absolutely right. The Salvation Army kettle celebration has a bit of a history in the NFL. Back in 2016, Ezekiel Elliott, the Dallas Cowboys running back, jumped into a kettle during a touchdown celebration, and the NFL didn't fine him for it. There was even a lot of love for Zeke, as fans couldn't get enough of him literally jumping into the kettle as a way to show his support for the Salvation Army's work. But, as with many things in the NFL, what goes around doesn't always come around. Fast forward 2 years, and Elliott and quarterback Dak Prescott were slapped with a hefty $13.369 fine after Elliott went a little overboard, tossing money and even Prescott into the kettle. Talk about taking things to the next level. If that wasn't enough, during the 2023 Thanksgiving Day game, a whole bunch of Cowboys players were spotted pulling turkey legs out of the kettle for a hilarious celebration. And guess what? No fine that time. It's clear that the NFL has some wildly inconsistent reactions when it comes to these kettle shenanigans. So, where does that leave us with Chase Brown? Well, like we mentioned before, he's now $5.481 lighter in the wallet after his own take on the famous Salvation Army kettle celebration. But here's the kicker, Brown didn't even know he could be fined for it. When reporters told him about the fine, his reaction was priceless. He asked, "Do I really? I hope not. Like, big fine?" When asked if the fine would be worth it, he jokingly responded, "No, definitely not. I don't make enough money for that ****. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wasn't expecting his celebration to cost him a chunk of his paycheck. Was the fine worth it? Now, let's take a second to ask the question. Was it worth it? I mean, we've seen players get fined for all sorts of crazy stuff in the NFL. Like Derrick Henry's stiff arm and the time Antonio Brown threw a fit on the sideline. But this fine for jumping into the kettle? Well, that's just classic NFL chaos. The league loves to fine players for celebrations, even if those celebrations are meant to be fun or raise awareness for good causes. And look, the fine might sting, but at least Chase Brown got a cool moment on national television. Sure, he's down a little bit of cash, but he's also part of an exclusive club of players who have had their own wild touchdown celebrations involving the Salvation Army kettle. So, in the grand scheme of things, I think we can agree that he probably wouldn't change a thing. NFL and their unpredictable rules. But here's the thing about the NFL and celebrations, they're unpredictable. One player can jump into a kettle and get away with it, while another gets a fine. In fact, it seems like the NFL just picks and chooses when they want to fine players for this type of celebration. We saw the Cowboys' turkey leg stunt get a pass in 2023. But when a Bengal tries to dive into a kettle, it's unsportsmanlike conduct. It makes you wonder if the NFL has a secret rulebook for these kinds of things, or if they just like keeping things spicy. It's also worth noting that the NFL's celebration policy has evolved over the years. The league used to be super strict about celebrations, but they've lightened up in recent seasons. Players can do a lot more now, just as long as they're not being too over the top or disrespectful. But clearly, Brown's Kettle jump didn't meet the NFL's approval. And here we are, talking about a fine. What's next for Chase Brown? As for Chase Brown, his celebration might have been short-lived, but it's going down in history. He might have gotten hit with a fine, but he also gave us a moment we'll all remember. Hopefully, this doesn't make him rethink doing future celebrations. But who knows? The NFL's fines might just make him a little more creative in the future. I mean, maybe next time he'll use the kettle for some charitable work instead of jumping into it. Closing remarks. So there you have it. Chase Brown learned the hard way that touchdown celebrations can come with a price, literally. But hey, at least we got a good laugh and a little drama from it. And who knows, maybe next time, we'll see some NFL player find an even more creative way to get fined. If you enjoyed this wild ride through the NFL's celebration drama, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with your friends, because we all know the NFL never runs out of surprises. Stay tuned for more football content coming your way. And as always, keep enjoying the game. Until next time, take care and remember, celebrate responsibly, unless you're fine with losing a chunk of your paycheck.